Get your lanes out and shout. Come on, shout.
Keith, I honestly thought that was just the world's largest cell phone that you pulled out because you're a friggin' giant of a human being.
Hello, Karen.
That's
Let me
awesome.
text on my giant iPhone. iPhone 12s.
I did it,
XR.
guys. I signaled everyone tonight. I did it.
You burped? Oh man.
Oh, you want me to do it again?
Oh, congratulations on the burp.
Did it again. Oh, that one hurt, actually. That one didn't go. That one didn't go very well. Welcome to Running Out the Clock Live. We are currently recording live on YouTube. If you are listening later on, you want to join us on YouTube. Nominally, we record on Sunday evenings. This time around, we pushed it to a Monday surprise live stream, but we're still doing it. And we got a pretty good cast here tonight. We're missing one crucial member. We'll miss him dearly.
Crucial.
Oh! Sick burn.
I don't know what's funny, but I'm your friend Joseph Craven. We've got Gray Barnes, we've got Roan Hunter, and we've got
The
Big
third.
Red. Big Red in the house.
Big Red.
Keith Harkin.
Bush League. Bush League Big Red.
So that was
Nice.
an old school ROTC throwback right
Throwing
there.
it back.
We are missing our dear friend Crambles Johnson, who is away on business this week. Could not be
Missing.
with us. Guys, I honestly think something is wrong with Keith. I'm concerned for the man. We are here. It is the cusp of bowl season. The cusp. We're right on the edge of it. We'll be doing a running out the clock bowl preview episode next week. But tonight is all about the true reason for the season. Us talking about our Christmas wish list tonight. That's what we're going to be doing on this episode of ROTC. This is our running out the clock grown-up sports fan Christmas list night. If you want to get any of us a gift, we're going to tell you what it is that we want right here on this podcast, this episode now. But we have to start things off the way that we always do, and that's by talking about the bowls. That's right. We got to, okay, well, we talk about the Knowles is our normal thing, but we're going to say talking about the bowls. Before we get into our, what will surely be a highly appealing bowl preview episode next week, let's take a look at some of the games that, some of the bowl games that are projected that maybe, I don't know, any of them stand out as being interesting games to you. That's kind of it. Let's look at the list. Obviously, the SEC is in a handful of games. I want to say the first SEC bowl game is the Texas Bowl between Oklahoma State and Texas A&M. I didn't see one that happened before then. I could have the schedule wrong, but that's what it looks like. I'll tell you right now, that's a game I'm not interested in any sort of way.
No.
Any bowls you guys look at and are interested in at all? I'm kind of interested in Gasparilla Bowl just to figure out what Gasparilla is.
Let's throw this out here. The Cherubundy Boca Raton Bowl with who was it? SMU and Florida Atlantic.
Ooh.
Seems like it could be rife with drama.
Ooh.
I didn't even think about that one.
I like the look of that one for sure, man. I also like the look of it because it looks like maybe SMU's a slight. It's only like a 3.5 points, like the spread is, but the over under is set at 72.5.
Oh
yeah, they're going to
yes.
score a lot of points. It's going to be super wonderful.
That's what bowl season is all about, right
That
there.
is absolutely what bowl season's all about.
Yeah. None of this boring San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl between USC and Iowa. Who
Ugh.
cares?
No.
Give me
absolutely
SMU and FAU.
not. Right.
I did not just cuss. But if I did, it would definitely be about that game.
I'm trying to see what like the lowest over under is. I'm gonna scan this list. You guys tell me what other bowls looking interesting you think?
Yo, I want to look. We got Texas versus Utah at the Alamo Bowl, man.
Oh.
Utes, how they've fallen. They've fallen, so they're playing Texas in San Antonio.
No, dude, Texas is back, y'all.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like
I
horns,
forgot.
yeah.
Man,
Man, people are not happy with Tom Herman. I didn't realize how
Really?
vile the the malcontent towards him has really become.
Weren't
But
they super happy with him at the end of last year?
yeah.
yeah, when what's his
Man,
face was
Texas
like,
fans are more
"We're
fickle than
back."
Tennessee fans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
True.
think about it. Think about what Tom Herman inherited. He inherited a very healthy program with a whole lot going for it. And
yeah,
so it's
they
really
had a
shocking.
stable chock full of 5-star recruits.
right. They were very much doing well. They weren't incomplete and under disarray. I will say this: Texas this year has really seemed to play to the level of their opponents.
Yeah.
Like they barely beat some pretty bad, if
Yeah.
at best okay teams, and then they played well
almost
against
beat the best team in the country.
LSU.
Mhm.
Forgot about that game.
Oh,
Oh
man.
yeah, that was so long ago.
It was
Really?
such a good game too.
It was several years
Oh,
ago.
okay.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was several years. Yeah, it was the mid 2000s. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I think Vince
2007.
Young was the quarterback, right? It was Vince
Right.
Young. Yeah.
for both
Yeah,
teams.
it was-
he played.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It was
on-time
Vince
quarterback.
Young and Jamarcus Russell.
Oh
Oof.
man, great quarterbacks. Transitioned well in the NFL.
Yeah,
Yes, they did
definitely.
really good.
Pro Bowl, all-star caliber quarterback.
Yep. So I don't know. That could be interesting. We'll see if I really feel like Utah though has to have lost all motivation after completely embarrassing themselves against Oregon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the Georgia of last year and the Georgia of this year.
I like that.
Absolutely.
I thought
All
about
right.
that like yesterday. I was like, man, Georgia's gonna just completely caught the bet again, aren't they?
Oh, of course. All right,
Of
so it's
course.
official. Keith has dubbed it so. Utah is now known as Mountain Georgia.
Mountain Georgia.
Yeah.
That's it. Utah's officially Mountain Georgia.
Also, the Goodyear Cotton Bowl, Penn State and Memphis. That could be
Oh,
really
yes.
interesting.
Yes, that one is going to be fascinating. Though I do wonder, I mean, I guess Mike Norvell is probably not coaching that game, huh?
Probably not. Same as the FAU game. Lane Kiffin's probably not going to coach that one either.
Shocking to me. Shocking
Yeah.
to me that Lane wouldn't
When is
stick around.
when has Lane Kiffin ever bolted to go somewhere else?
I mean,
Crazy.
it's unprecedented.
I have a
Never
little bit
happened.
more on that game later in this
Ooh,
podcast.
a little bit of
okay,
insider
okay.
information.
Hey-o.
Stick around.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I'm gonna. Yeah, it seems as though he's gonna. He's pretty much gone ahead, and Mike Norvell has gone ahead and gone off to Florida State. So yeah, I don't suspect he'll be doing that. I think I found the lowest point totals in the New Mexico Bowl, Central Michigan and San Diego State. So that's Antonio Brown's versus Kawhi Leonard's. Only expected to be a 40.5 over under.
Could not be more opposite athletes too, right? One is like quiet, barely smiles. The other guy, well, let's just say if you drafted them this year, you're lucky to be in the playoffs. Oh wait, that's me. That's me.
Let's just say
You're going to be drafted?
the only
Yes.
draft, the only draft Antonio Brown's looking at right now is the draft he feels as he exposes himself to women working in his house.
He'll be in the
Wait, is that
XFL.
real?
Dude. Don't worry about him. Yeah, dude, that's a
Yeah,
real
that's
thing.
that's why he didn't get signed anywhere.
And that's why he's not on Roe Hunter's fantasy football team.
Man, Ro, you've had really good luck.
I've had
Yeah.
incredible luck. My luck's run out though. All of Calvin Ridley has an abdominal injury. I mean, like I could go on and list it out, but like
Yes,
if you look at my
unlucky you.
roster, yeah. If you look at my roster, I'm like, how am I in the playoffs? I don't know. We'll see. I got to play Brett next week too. So shout out
Top
to
of
Brett.
our league, man. He's top of
Yeah.
our league.
I know.
Oh, how about Michigan and Bama?
Mm.
Ooh,
What do you
yeah.
guys think of that
um,
matchup?
I follow a lot of Michiganders on Twitter because of the Red Wings, and they are not excited about this game. Basically, everyone was like, "Can we just like opt out? Can we pass?"
It's going to be weird to see Bama in a game that like doesn't matter.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, what are we
It's
going to see?
been a while.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Saban's going to just unleash the fury of
Well, and what sucks about
the
it is
1,000
that,
years that he's been alive.
exactly what sucks about it is that it pretty much guarantees Saban sticking around for at least another year. You
I
know, because
and see, like that's what I said last year after he lost to Clemson.
Mhm.
Like I was sure that if Bama beat Clemson, that he was going to bow out. But
you
no,
can, I mean, you know, he wants to end on a high note.
Yep.
There's no way that he's not going to end on a high note. But it's like his time's running out, man.
yeah,
It's true.
he
It's
is
very
losing
true.
games, and the fans are turning on him.
Yeah, this was a relatively weak Bama team.
Yep. Next stop for Saban, Arkansas.
Where he's
Yes.
going to start winning titles
Yes.
there. Completely renovate him.
I'm going to be
I'm-
honest. If Saban manages to go to Arkansas and like win national champions there, like that's it. He's the greatest coach of all time. Period.
Right. I mean, there's not a huge amount of debate already, you know, considering he kind of reinvigorated two different SEC programs that had like historical value to him, but also were not in good shape when he took over.
No,
But how old is he? I mean, he's getting up there, dude.
he's in his
Right?
70s, I think.
Yeah, he's in his
Is he?
70s.
Looks great.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's what you happen when you suck the life out of children, like the Hocus Pocus witches.
Yeah.
No, he's 68. He's 68. So
Close
Nah,
enough.
so he
Yeah.
and Pete
If you
Carroll
round
are,
up,
he and Pete Carroll are using the same skin treatment apparently.
all
A
right.
couple of 68-year-old dudes not looking their ages.
Yeah, I'm trying to look back and see when the last time they were in a bowl game that just doesn't matter.
That wasn't like a title game or wasn't the playoffs. Yeah, let us know.
2008
I think 2009.
when
I
they
think.
lost to Utah. No, man. Oh, 09.
No, it went to that. No, 09 they
that they
won.
went to the championship.
Yeah, they won over the Texas Longhorns, sending Mac Brown into retirement. I think.
Yeah. No, man, like 08 was the year that they went to like the Fiesta Bowl. and
Yeah,
lost
that was
to
his
Utah.
second year.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was 08.
smacked around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that was a fun game.
What
man.
a great one, yeah.
That was a fun game.
Yeah.
Apologies to Bama fans, but it was a fun game to watch.
So think about that though, right? Homeboy's been there since 2007, and that's when they had a 7-6 record. Yeah, apologies, Nick Saban. Don't cuss at me for calling you homeboy.
He only gets mad at you if you leave his team early for the NFL.
What?
Wait, I'm sorry. Is Nick
Whoa.
Saban Wario?
Yes,
I
That
know.
was 100% Wario.
he's look. Whenever you see, if you look up a clip of him right now, especially this last game where he like lost it at halftime,
Oh yeah.
he's 5'6.5". He is Wario, just minus all the weight. He's like Wario and Jenny Craig, dude. I'm telling you, just look at him. You don't even know what he's saying. He looks like he's about to like blow a gasket, just like Wario looks. Wario looks the same way.
Wario on Jenny Craig. I love it. So far in this episode, we've got Mountain, Georgia. We've got Wario and Jenny Craig. This is the greatest episode of the podcast we've ever recorded. It just is already.
Oh,
We're
man,
like 12
I
minutes
did.
in, and it's solid.
I did not realize that Georgia matched up with Baylor in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
Georgia's
Yeah.
definitely going to encore last year.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah. I'm going to throw another matchup out that I think will be pretty interesting because I just have no idea what to expect out of this combination of teams. Air Force and Washington State.
Weird.
The Air Force and the Air Raid going head to head. I think that'll be an interesting one.
It's going to be a high-flying game.
Here we go.
Wow.
Into the wild blue yonder, y'all.
Into the wild blue
No.
yonder. Well, also too, like shout out to like Baylor, by the way. They're about to be what was it 2 years ago? They were like 1-11 or something.
Yeah.
And now like quickest turnaround, and now
Pretty
they
good.
are now they're not terrible.
And then before that, they were basically on the cusp of the playoff.
Yeah.
Like they barely missed the cut. That wow, what
Man,
what a
they've-
up and down.
Yeah, like real quick.
Yep.
Mountain Peak, Valley, Mountain Peak, and
Yep.
it's a span of like 4.5 or 5 years.
Double-digit wins for Baylor from 2013 to 2015. Then 7 wins in 16, 1 win in 2017.
So crazy.
7 wins in 18, and then 11 wins this year. And if not for Oklahoma, could very easily be an undefeated team.
How
could have easily beaten Oklahoma twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even Saturday was overtime.
Yep.
Literally just a few snaps away from going to the playoffs, probably.
So does that mean that Matt Rule? I mean, think about that. I know he takes over a
Brother of Ja
terrible
Rule?
team. Duh. Obviously, Fire Festival 2020. See you there. So Matt Rule, he takes a terrible team and they go 1-11. Imagine if that happened in the SEC though. Even if it was like Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas is pretty close to that.
I mean, Arkansas
here
basically
recently.
went 1-11 last year.
Mhm.
Yeah, and how do you stick with them and then 7-6 and all of a sudden it's 11-1? Like they're back humming. That's just weird.
It's almost as if, and I know this is a crazy revolutionary thought here, but it's almost as if coaches need at least 3 years in order to actually establish the team they want to. I know.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone has ever said that before, ever.
I know. I'm just saying. Also, can we refer to the week after the end of the regular season as Fire Festival from here on out?
Oh,
Yes.
100%.
Conference Championship Week is now officially known as Fire Festival.
Yeah.
It's the start of the
Yeah.
coaching carousel. It's known as Fire. Mountain
Calling the
Georgia.
NCAA right now.
Mountain Georgia, Wario and Jenny Craig, and Fire Festival Week. I love it. This is a good podcast. Hey,
All culminating with the Army Navy game at the Fire Festival.
At Fire Festival.
Honestly, why isn't the Army Navy game the last game of the year? Even after the national championship game.
I thought it was this year.
Oh, is it really?
I'm sorry. Not after the national. Yeah, I thought it is this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
It's usually the last game of the regular season.
Of the regular season, after the conference title. So I jumped the gun on your thought
Just
process.
stick an extra month in there and just have it in mid-January.
Also,
You know what? Let's do it in the summer. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Play
do
it
this
in
one.
March.
Play it in March. Also, the Liberty Bowl seems very intriguing to me with Navy versus Kansas State, a team that walloped Mississippi State this year, and also they beat who did they beat? That
Oklahoma.
one team. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Oklahoma, and Navy is playing them in the Liberty Bowl. I felt like Kansas State was better than that, but I obviously have not followed them whatsoever. And I know Navy is no slouch. I mean, they're all right, right? I haven't even looked.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how Navy did this year.
Is Navy the one with the triple option? Is that right?
Yeah, and
usually.
the coach with the last name that I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ken Niumalatololo. That's
No,
close enough.
it's
I think
It's
it's Tua
pronounced-
Tagovailoa.
It's Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. It's Tua
okay,
Tagovailoa.
yeah. Oh, are you sure it's not Troy Polamalu? Because I'm pretty sure. How do you say that? Seriously.
I'm not gonna.
Ken Watanabe.
No.
He's a very famous actor.
No.
Yeah.
Turn
No.
No.
No. Yeah. I mean, that will be interesting. Hey, let's real quick. Let's shift our gears a bit. Let's talk about some of the coaches in the SEC right now. Obviously, the big changes were Matt Luke out at Ole Miss. And,
Wait, what?
I know, man, I know. And then Barry Odom out at Missouri. I blanked on his name for a hot second there. Those are, the bigger coaching changes in the ones that affect the SEC in particular.
No disrespect to Arkansas.
Right. But Arkansas hasn't named a head coach yet, have they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
they have.
Yeah.
What? Who
They've-
was it?
They've
Sam
officially
Pittman.
hired the OL coach from Georgia.
And I tell
Wow.
you, there is not a single coach in America, maybe other than Lane Kiffin, that embodies a program like this guy,
Good
Sam Pittman.
God, I just looked up a
Man.
picture.
You
Yeah,
got to
he
see
was
the
Arkansas.
video that he tweeted. It's just incredible.
Well, so the athletic department, as a joke, because he's an offensive line coach, Joseph, you'll love this little pun. They blocked him on Twitter. Get it? Because he blocks the defenders. Like, that's a true thing that happened. Like, that's how they announced their hires. Like, they did a little screenshot, said, "You're blocked. Here's our coach," because he blocks people.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I've got to block the Arkansas football Twitter account on my own Twitter feed. I don't even use Twitter anymore. I need to get them out of here. Wow.
Also, offensive line coach or players commonly referred to as hogs.
Oh yeah, so it just makes sense.
He was the obvious choice.
So I assume that Arkansas must have just really missed Brett Bielema so much that they were like, okay, well, we went away from Bert and we tried to go get
somebody like Bert,
flashy modern offensive coach, and they very quickly were like, you know what? Forget modern offenses. Let's go back and play this thing like it's the mid '80s, y'all, and let's hire this guy.
Yep. I think they missed Brett Bielema, and they also missed out on every single candidate that they were trying to get as well.
Right. Exactly. I mean, you're getting turned down. You're not getting serious looks from Lane Kiffin. So, where else are you going to go?
Like Norville.
Dude, he's
anybody.
Straight up looks like a warthog. He definitely looks like a razorback.
He just does. All right, that's
He's
interesting.
a feral hog.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Missouri being able to take App State's coach? We'll get a quick reaction off of that one as well. First of all, 36-year-old head football coach Eli Drinkwitz. So 36.
I really like the last name. Like Drinkwitz. Like, come on, bro. You know this guy drinks, man. Come on.
Perfect college coaching name.
Great comb over with some of his photos.
Great comb over. Solid choice in glasses. As a fan of glasses, I like his glasses. I know nothing about him other than he looks like he's pretty young.
App State was ranked most of the year. Weren't
they?
They were really good. So, I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be. I don't know him as an actual person. I have no idea what he's like. But how many times has a coach jumped from a kind of low stress, relatively low stress, at a smaller school head coaching job to a Power 5 coaching gig, and it worked out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, about that.
I mean, the last one that really stands out is Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, that worked out real well. Won a bunch of games, touched a bunch of ladies.
Allegedly.
Excuse me. A bunch of ladies touched him. Yeah.
As far as we know, he only called them.
Yeah.
As far as we know.
He's a coach. You know?
Well, and it's super interesting because App State, of course, has really only been up in FBS for 5-6 years now. Mm-hmm. Scott Satterfield took him up. Great coach there. Stuck with him from 14 to 18. Went 11-win season there. Got him into the top 25. He leaves. Drinkwitz takes over for only one season. 12 wins.
That's wild to me, man.
And then is gone after just 1 year. So either he saw something there that he was like, I don't want to stick it out at this smaller place.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
Well, have fun in the SEC, buddy. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I would too. You're getting paid millions of dollars. I mean, who cares? You're going to lose, but whatever. I'm sure that's not his attitude, but deep in the back of his mind, he's thinking that, right? I mean, come on.
You're going from Appalachia to Western Appalachia.
Well, he was exactly. He was the offensive coordinator for a hot minute at NC State. Prior to that,
was he at NC State when Florida football legend Jacoby Brissett was there?
He was there from 2016 to 18, so I think Keith would know the answer to that better than me. I don't know when. I don't remember
I
when.
think Brissett was in the
No.
league then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely in
I
like
think
his fourth
Brissett
year.
was like 13 to 15 there.
Yep, that's exactly it. 14 and 15.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
He transferred out of Florida in 12, so that 13 year was his transfer year.
Well, he also coached at Auburn 2010 under Gene Chizik, so that's cool. He's the quality control coach.
2010. He quality
Yeah.
controlled Cam Newton's laptops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good reference.
He handed Cam Newton's father a quality amount of cash. That's exactly it. He controlled that
Quality
process.
controlled the crap out of that envelope.
I'm gonna be honest. Looking at his Wikipedia page, it's a pretty small. It's pretty small. Granny's only 36, but that's kind of his
had
claim.
some big moments, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Big time.
I don't think this year was a particularly great year to be looking for another head coach to bring into the program. And I think if you're Missouri, the best you could really do is bring some juice into the program. Because I don't know, if I'm a Missouri fan, you think going into the season with Kelly Bryant coming in and the East kind of before the season started looking relatively wide open, other than Georgia, and then just to have the probation stuff and the postseason ban and all of that. I don't know, maybe a young guy who had a pretty pretty good season kind of out of nowhere at a place like Appalachian State.
It's a situation to come into.
Yeah.
Kind of bring some life into a program that's kind of looking for something to be excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know much about him, but he was able to continue the work that Satterfield, started at App State. And that does say something, because that is surely not a situation that lends itself easily to like continued success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they were still able to do that. App State had one of the best defenses in the entire country this season.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you're going to go for, possible like young up and coming hype pick, kind of makes sense, even with a lack of a resume, but it's tricky. It is.
Yeah.
tricky.
There's that really fine line that schools have to walk when they're looking for something different. Like you don't want to go the route of like the old recycled coaches, like the, kind of status quo, but you've got to be really careful about any, young, vibrant minds that are coming up through the ranks that can inject, excitement into your program. Cause like, that's exactly what Nebraska thought they were getting with Scott Frost, and that hasn't worked out too well. And like, even though like Taggart's not really like a young guy, like he's relatively new to the head coaching scene.
He's younger than Saban.
Right. Yes, he is. He is less than 68 years old. But like, that didn't really work out. And whether or not, you disagree that, Florida State probably should have given him more time, because like Florida State was starting to look better, even though the results didn't quite show it.
They're an institutional mess. It goes beyond the team. They're an institutional mess.
Yes.
Right
and like he had to contend with the fact that the only player that Jimbo left him with was Cam Akers.
Right.
And no offensive line. So, but anyway, like it's just tough. And so, they're going to look back in 2 or 3 years and wonder, like, if things aren't going really well, like, should they have stuck with Barry Odom, or do you think that he was the right hire at that point? Because like, you could have stuck with Barry Odom for a couple of more years and then seen, because like he wasn't doing poorly. He wasn't doing great, but he wasn't doing poorly.
No.
So it's just a matter of what you want to do. And like, I don't know, maybe Missouri thought that their brief run of SEC East excellence was going to be their new standard.
Right. Yeah. And that's a great point, because you really have to understand, the situation that your program is in when you make a hire. And I think you brought up Nebraska. That's a great example. I think Nebraska understood that because for years now, Nebraska has been trying to find somebody that can take them back to the 90s, basically.
Right.
Like that, their entire motivation is, hey, do you remember the 90s? It's trendy to reminisce. It's trendy to throw back these days. We should do the same. And so they're just trying to get...
Boz?
Yeah, yeah. The glory days.
Glory days.
They're just trying to get somebody that can take them back to the glory days. And so I think that's one of the reasons why, like, they probably at this point, understand, okay, so far we've had no luck. Maybe and they go with the younger Nebraska alum, the beloved Scott Frost. Maybe they give him a little more time to develop things because they understand, the situation they're in. Does Missouri understand it at this point? That's what I don't know, because I don't know if firing Barry Odom, I think Barry Odom was a victim of circumstances just about more than anything else with that program. So this is an interesting, situation they find themselves in to begin with.
Yep.
And I think on a normal year without the circumstances they were in, they probably don't lose to Wyoming and Vanderbilt.
Right. Yeah.
Those are two rough losses.
Probably not.
And
you have to lack all motivation to lose those games.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, again, I'm not saying that it's the right or wrong call, but Kelly Bryant's leaving. Their superstar tight end that I don't even want to attempt his last name.
Akwegbunam. That's
him.
a last name I do know and can say. Yeah.
That was a great attempt.
He's leaving. He's going to the league. Like, and they're graduating some guys. Like, it's maybe it was the perfect time to kind of start fresh with a new guy, but also at the same time, like, maybe it wasn't a good time to start fresh with a new guy. I'm not really sure. Like, you're losing a lot of, quote unquote cornerstone style players. I don't know. We'll see if it works out.
Yeah, I think all I really necessarily was saying is you have to understand where you are as a program.
For sure.
If you have to deal with the change in general, you cannot do it if you cannot succeed at it if you don't understand where you are as a program. You look at Alabama when they hired Nick Saban. Nick Saban did not necessarily want to go there, but he eventually, the whole story is, he went up basically to the athletic director and said, okay, here are the rules. I'll come be your coach. I'll answer to you, but like, I'm going to do my thing. You just raise funds for me. Let me run this program and let me do it my way. Mm-hmm. And Alabama at that point was like, we are desperate enough to sell our souls to you. So yes. They acknowledged the situation and it paid off for them. They had to be able to, basically hand over all institutional control of their football program to the man, be willing to do that. Not a whole lot of schools would be willing to do that. Not a lot of school boards would be willing to do that. Not a whole lot of school boards featuring sons of legendary coaches like Bear Bryant would be willing to do that. But they did. Yeah. And it's paid off for them. So you just have to know. You just have to know where you are. This makes it very interesting, though, because when we get to the last coaching hire that we need to discuss right now, it ends up being the coaching hire we know the most about, and quite honestly was probably the safest in a way. Like, it's hard to say that.
It's really weird to say those two things together with the person that you're about to mention.
Right. It's weird to say that Lane Kiffin's the safest pick out of all of them, but Lane Kiffin is kind of the safest pick out of all of them. I don't feel like it would be right of us to talk a huge amount about Lane Kiffin without having our resident Ole Miss fan, Chandler Crambles Johnson, here. But immediate reactions here. Lane Kiffin hire. What do we think? I'll open it by saying this, because I do want to go on record as saying this. I think it's the right hire for them because they needed a bolder choice. They would have gained nothing with a safe choice here. They tried it with Matt Luke. He was the safe pick. He was the legacy Ole Miss guy. He was almost Ole Miss royalty. They tried it, not working. They needed a bold pick. What do you think of their bold pick choice, though?
Everywhere Lane Kiffin has been, it's always been a bold pick. He started out. He started out. That's what he is named. That's how he's made his name for himself. He started out as USC as an assistant coach. From there, somehow famed Raiders owner Al Davis, RIP, decided it's a great idea to make a 31-year-old head coach out of Lane Kiffin because his dad is Monty Kiffin.
Yeah, it's because Al loved his daddy.
Yeah, and was
I
like,
always forget that Lane Kiffin was the head coach of the Raiders.
Yes,
Yep.
and they were atrocious. I mean, it was so, it's the Raiders of like the early 2000s. They're not that they're any better now, but back then they really were bad, and it didn't go well. It just didn't happen at all. So he makes millions of dollars. He's only there for a couple years, and then, the Tennessee Volunteers, pluck him out of the air, replacing the legendary Philip Fulmer, who they still have not replaced. I guess this year's better than most, but that was a decade ago. And then there's all the controversy that comes from Tennessee, and he gets the USC job. Again, not like a surefire pick, because I mean, like, Lane Kiffin is replacing, Pete Carroll, who is lack of institutional control gets thrown around. And it's not like he has this like he's not known for having that playing by the rules kind of thing here. And it doesn't go well for them. He has one good season in 2011 where it's 10-2, and then, after that, it's just kind of the lane slide. That plane crashes pretty hard. And luckily for him, his dad happens to be Monty Kiffin, right? And so he gets another job with legendary head coach Nicholas Saban.
I mean, technically, the plane never, it didn't leave with him.
Right.
He never got on it.
He never got on it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, did y'all hear him at the press conference?
Yes.
His
so
quote,
good.
Man,
his quote
what a
was
great!
so good.
He couldn't have drawn that up better.
I love coaches that are on like a quote unquote redemption tour who are super self-aware and just lean into it. It's so
a good sign. It's a good sign for him and the program that he's able to lean into that.
Yeah. So clearly the guy has grown up around football, but because you grow up around something, does that mean that you're great at it? His record speaks for itself. Not so much. He has a history of bailing when he sees bluer waters, greener pastures, if you will. And he also is his personal life is not like the greatest out there. I don't want to speak to that. I don't know a whole lot about it, but from what I remember, there's a lot of things, right? So he is a flash in the pan hire. I said on here last week that this was my pick for Ole Miss, and I was halfway kidding, but I also wasn't, because he is that
was
brand.
Really interesting. Like we both kind of talked about that and thought it would be a fun and good hire, and then his name started popping up, and then it was oh wow, this could actually happen.
It's actually real life.
Yeah.
They hired him.
I think that them hiring Lane Kiffin is good for, at the very least, it's like you said, Joseph, it is a stark departure from a Matt Luke-esque hire. With everything that's happened at Ole Miss, we hear about it a lot because Chandler is entrenched in the comings and goings of the Ole Miss administrations. And
Chandler could be on this episode because he was currently on the tarmac, reading Lane Kiffin and getting Lane Kiffin to kiss his baby.
Yeah, bringing him fruit baskets and everything.
Yeah.
But they were he was legit terrified that they were just going to promote Rich Rod and they were going to kind of stay safe and do all that. And so he's super happy with Keith Carter, who seems to just come in and not giving a crap about what the administration seemingly wants for the school. He's doing what he thinks is best for the school. And like Kiffin's kind of like what Rose said. Like he's a flashy hire. He's an offensive minded guy, and that's going to be a much welcomed aspect of his coaching philosophy after the boredom of Matt Luke for the last 3 years.
Yep. They're hoping to see. I guess every team might hope for it now. Like the trend has been to go with like younger, flashier offensive play calling head coaches, a Lincoln Riley, or in like the NFL example, like a Sean McVay, that type of thing. I think the trend is going to go more towards, let's look for the next Ed Orgeron, a guy who was failed, was humbled, learned how to coach, and then had a redemption story to go with his coaching career. And everyone, I think that they're hoping for that right now with Lane. Like it just makes sense. Okay, let's try to find it. The question here is, has Lane been able to learn how to be a head coach since his Tennessee and USC days? Because he's had a few, pretty good seasons in the worst conference in the country. So is that the right training ground? Is it a high enough level of competition to really learn? Seems like it definitely can be, So that's the biggest question mark with it is, okay, what has he actually learned over the past several years?
Yeah. And like, I don't really know the situations very well, but like, it also really didn't seem like Ed Orgeron was looking for a head coaching gig after what happened at Ole Miss. Like he was content to kind of play support roles.
He knew he had to learn
and stuff like that. Yeah,
we see the result. Yeah, we see the results of that now. It's very interesting.
Yeah, and so obviously it's worked out well for LSU, and Orgeron took over at LSU in a much better situation than Lane Kiffin's taken over at Ole Miss at. Not only that, but LSU has the benefit of, no matter who the head coach is, being able to recruit really good players because they're the only school in Louisiana, and they managed to poach really good talent out of Texas and Mississippi.
Yeah, that's very
true. And so it'll be a battle for Lane Kiffin to kind of try to, like, everyone who comes into Ole Miss or State always has this kind of motto of like, we're going to take the state back from schools that come in and like get all of our best players.
I don't know, man. I think Ole Miss is above all that.
They are above a lot of things.
Hey, let me ask you guys this.
But they're not above winning 8 games.
All right, let's say Jerry Jones gives Jason Garrett one more year. What is the likelihood that Lane Kiffin becomes the Dallas Cowboys' new head coach after 1 year at Ole Miss? What percentage would you put on it?
I would put it at 0% because I have no belief that Jerry Jones will ever get rid of Jason Garrett. I honestly think at this point, Jason Garrett could walk onto the middle of the field and take a dump on the Cowboys star in the middle of the field, and Jerry Jones just be like, that's the type of leadership I've been looking for this whole time.
finally stepping up to the plate, y'all.
Finally stepping up.
Yeah. Well, would be like peak hilarity.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
And that's what I kind of. That was kind of the question I was wondering too. Like, okay, even if it goes well for Ole Miss, which it very well could, Lane Kiffin doesn't stick around places very long. Where's Lane going to be in 3 years? Because
Ohio,
most likely
State.
Not. Yeah, exactly. If it goes well for him.
Michigan. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part.
If it goes well, he's going to Michigan.
He has if you look at his coaching tree, like assistants coaches under Lane Kiffin who became NCAA or NFL head coaches, he already has 4. And he's only like, I don't even think he's 40. Is he 40 yet? He's got to be 40, right?
He's
44.
He's like 28.
He's 28. He's eternally 28. He looks like he just drank too much at the bar.
Yeah, he doesn't age. He just puts on more jowl weight.
Jowl weight.
He is on the Chip Kelly train to Jowltown.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't age. His head gets fatter.
He has so many connections. He's got Tom Cable, who was the Oakland Raiders coach before some violence occurred. Then there's Clay Helton. Clay Helton for USC, who's still the head coach and doing pretty well. Frank Wilson, who was the UTSA coach, but he got fired this year. And then, of course, Ed Orgeron. I mean, like, he could go anywhere. He has so many places where you don't know. And I think that's his brand is like, am I in? Am I not in? You'll never know. Just kind of keep winning football games.
No.
And we'll see. We'll see, man. He could be the Dolphins head coach, or he could be Ole Miss. They can make statues out of him. Nobody knows.
You don't know.
Peak Lane Kiffin hilarity would be he coaches at Ole Miss for a year, and like Clay Helton, the AD out at USC gave him like the vote of confidence, basically saying that he'll be back next year, which we all know is code for you get like 3 games and then you're getting fired.
And then you're out.
Yeah. So peak hilarity would be he stays at Ole Miss, and then Clay Helton gets fired, so he goes back to USC as his dream job.
Yes.
Having learned how to coach the right way. Yes.
And I think at the very, very least, I'm trying to put myself in, as difficult as it is, trying to put myself into the mind of an Ole Miss fan.
Ooh, dangerous place.
A dangerous place. It seems to me like, I mean, y'all have basically already said what I'm about to say, but he has, the Lane Kiffin hire kind of puts just like a period at the end of all the mess, at the very, very least. Now, whether he wins games or not, I was thinking that Ole Miss was going to bring in an established head coach, a CEO, get the program back in order. I mean, okay, Lane Kiffin is an established head coach. That's not exactly what I was thinking, but it does make a lot of sense. It's a name that everybody knows. He had a great run calling plays at Alabama. You know, Florida Atlantic has had several good, conference championship seasons.
Yep.
You know, it's going to just kind of bring it in because Matt Luke was in his 3rd season.
That's right.
Year, yeah.
Third season, but still, just the fact of Matt Luke being the head coach at Ole Miss just felt like it's just this trail that all led back to Hugh Freeze. The whole reason why he was there was, it just kind of puts an end to all that, just kind of shoves it out of the way.
Yeah.
This is a fresh start. All that's gone. Get on the Lane train. Let's go.
Yeah.
Whether that translates into wins, it's yet to be seen, but at least it's something that, you can get behind and kind of know what you're getting yourself into rather than just having a giant wild card out there year to year. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think that was A+ for what they were going for.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's like we'll crack a lot of jokes, but at the end of the day, I mean, I still think it's the right hire for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, out of what you were saying earlier, Gray, it's kind of a weak year for a coaching carousel. You know, outside of Mike Norvell, like no one else is really moving. So
Butch Davis was on people's short lists.
Right.
I mean, you're not.
Yeah. Rutgers had to rehire Greg Schiano.
Wow. Did they actually do that?
Yeah,
They did. They did.
It was
Same
the very
guy
first
that they
hire.
ran out of town like 4 years ago.
Wow. All right.
Hey, I'm about to post something in the chat here. This is the hype video, if you will, from Lane Kiffin when he was introduced at FAU.
Yes,
And do you remember this? It was one of the saddest.
Perfect.
I think Gray sent it to us in the group me the other day.
It was so sad, and
Hey, guys.
it literally one of my favorite comments on it. It's at the very beginning of the YouTube video. Is you got people selling burial plans that have more energy than him, which is exactly spot on for him because he knew. They all knew. Like, okay, this was just a job. All right, we're gonna get the fans in the seats. Yada yada yada. Blah blah. He was waiting for this moment, but if it doesn't work out with Ole Miss right now, if this is probably his last stop for a good long while. If he has a mediocre run, I mean, like this is kind of the end of the Lane train. That's what I would say.
It could be. Or again, if it goes well, does he jump to a bigger job opening?
Exactly,
pretty
and he
soon.
will.
So
He most certainly will.
His personality seems that way. I mean, to his credit, like he's done well at FAU. Since he left them, they have not been put on probation, so that's better than his previous head coaching stints.
That's a good sign for Ole Miss.
Yeah. So, who knows? It could absolutely work very well. It just is one of those things where I just wonder, good or bad, if we're going to be looking at the same situation or another coaching search for the Rebels in 3 years. We'll have to see. But let's, Keith, I believe you prepared a little game for us. Let's play a little game and then wrap things up with our Christmas list. And before we jump back in next week with our bold predictions and preview episode. So, Keith, I'm going to hand it over to you, man.
First of all, my dog is being a little bit ornery and growling at me. So you may hear intermittent donkey anger noises.
Well, Gray's been doing that all night. So
that's true. In honor of bowl season, which is upon us rather quickly, which of course is the football bowl series, the FBS, which is no longer a thing. We're going to throw it back to an older school, football. We're going all the way back to England.
Hey, I've been there. I went there one time.
I've been there too.
This week's game is called Righteous or Rubbish.
Let's go.
I'm very excited now.
Let's do it.
In which I am going to name off an English town, and you are going to tell me if it is real righteous or fake rubbish.
Okay.
All right.
I'm so in on this.
I'm going to start with you, Joseph.
All right.
Big fan of Liverpool football.
Up the Reds, baby.
Having been to England and Scotland and all that stuff, and actually watched a Liverpool game. We're going to open with you. Are you ready?
No.
Sanford, Gloucestershire.
Is that S-A-N or S-A-M?
Sanford. S-A-N-D-F-O-R-D.
Sanford, Gloucestershire. Sanford, Gloucestershire sounds real to me. I'm going to say yes.
It is indeed a fake English town.
Dang.
Sanford, Gloucestershire is the town that Simon Pegg's character in Hot Fuzz went to. It is a fictitious small town.
That's why it sounded real to me. It's because I'm a huge Timothy Dalton fan.
Yes.
So that's why it sounded real to me.
All right, Gray. Upton, Snodsbury.
Upton, Snodsbury. I think this is one of those instances, where it sounds so ridiculous that it has to be rubbish.
Ooh, bold choice. Incorrect, though.
All right.
Upton, Snodsbury is in fact a real place.
The snozzberries taste like snozzberries.
All righty then.
Row. Boggy Bottom, Hertfordshire.
Hang on. Boggy Bottom, Hertfordshire?
Correct. Boggy Bottom, Hertfordshire.
God, that sounds like something out of The Witcher where the water hags live. I'm going to go with righteous.
Indeed, correct.
Yes!
Boggy Bottom, Hertfordshire is a real English town.
Where is that located?
No idea, but it's real.
In a bog somewhere.
Apparently.
All right, Joseph.
All right, back at it.
Currently, Roe is in the lead with one correct answer.
This is a barn burner right here.
Yep.
Barn burner over Lancaster Shire.
Yeah,
that's a town.
It's wrong. It's fake. All right.
Joseph's was the only one that sounded real. Mine and Gray's sounded so Hobbit-ish.
This is what's great about it, because English towns don't make any sense.
No, not even in the slightest.
All right, Joseph, Kirbyport, Merseyside.
No, dude, that's a Pokemon. No way.
No, I will say that Kirbyport Merseyside is one of my favorite Nintendo Switch games. So it's a Switch exclusive. I'm gonna err on saying that is fake because that doesn't sound like any Merseyside I'm familiar with.
Correct, you are. Kirbyport, Merseyside is a fictitious place that I just made up.
Well, you know what Merseyside is, don't you?
Yeah, it's the county where Liverpool was located.
Right. So that's the only reason I guessed on that one. Merseyside, yeah. I'm not buying it.
All right, Gray.
That wasn't me.
That's no. That's the name of the English town.
Just a weird grunting noise. That's fake because that's a Scottish town. Thank you.
Yes. Thames Town, Greater London. Thames, of course, being the river. So it's spelled Thames.
I mean, man, back at it again, where it sounds so real. I mean, I'm just going to have to say it's real.
Over 2, buddy.
Man.
What?
Thames Town, Greater London is fake. However, trick question. It is a real place, but it is in China.
What kind of nonsense is that?
Of course, why not?
Is that
Yes,
China
it
over
is.
Disney?
It is.
Are
It
you
is a
kidding me?
completely fabricated English town in Hong Kong. That is a tourist attraction for the Chinese.
Golly.
Sure,
I mean,
yeah.
hey, you gotta give me credit though, right?
I know.
I'm not seeking.
I'm giving you 2 tough ones.
I'm not seeking a point here, but I mean, it sounds so like it's got to be like a tourist attraction. I mean, exactly what it is. I mean,
100%.
Way to go, China! You got that one. You nailed it.
Way to go, China.
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 All right, so row. Knutsford, Cheshire.
Knutsford?
Knutsford, like Nutts, and then
K-
Ford.
Knutsford.
Oh gosh.
Knutsford, Cheshire.
Newtsford? Do you have to hit that harder because it's a K in front?
Knutsford, and then what's the second one? Cheshire.
Are you looking it up right now, Ro? Because I will fight you.
No, I got both of my hands. I
need your hands up.
Not
Hands up.
cheating. Not cheating. Knutsford, Cheshire. I mean, it does sound kind of like an abbey, right? I mean, like you could put abbey at the end of that, and you'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's where Friar lives."
Right. Well, no, you can't say that because that's just a program on BBC Two. So
Again, all of this
Also
makes sense.
fake. Yes.
I'm gonna go with a righteous indignation here. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's real.
Ro, 2 for 2.
Wow,
man,
dude!
he did it.
I pulled that one out of my behind.
He did it. Look at that. So
All right.
Ro,
in the lead with 2.
I am. When I did my 23andMe, this is a true story. I did my 23andMe. My granddad used to tell me that I had Cherokee in me. Look at me, I don't have any Cherokee in me, but that's what he told me. And so we did 23andMe, and guess what? 100% English. It's showing right now. It's showing right now.
like the results.
Come on, boy.
the results came in and they didn't even bother giving you a world map. They just gave you a map of the UK, and they're like,
I mean, you have a little bit of Scottish in there, but you're definitely from London down, buddy.
Yep. All right.
Just
one
in
more
time
round.
for
Right
Christmas,
here, London
23andMe,
town.
find your long lost relatives in your genealogy. 23andMe, not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Also,
Not
shout
a
out
free
to
sponsor.
Casper mattresses. Keith, do we have
All
one
right,
more round?
Final round. Lightning
All right.
round.
Lightning round. Here we go. Quick
Just
answers.
kidding. It's not going to be fast.
No, I'd like for it to be fast. I'd like for this episode to not be an hour and a half like it always is. Good Lord, you're terrible.
All right, Joseph. Last round. Tynesmith, Tyne and Ware.
That's real.
Correct.
What? How did you know? Did you know? That was a very confident answer, Joseph.
Mm-hmm. It was a total guess, but I was going to guess with confidence.
Did you buy a watch from this town? Like, what in the world?
Hadn't been there. I've only ever been to Antwerp, City of Diamonds. Rose knows about that place.
Antwerp, City of Diamonds.
All right, Gray. Chipping, Camden, Gloucestershire.
What?
Rubbish. Get out of here.
Sorry, man. 0 for 3.
Wow.
It's been a rough day for you, Gray.
Oh,
Somebody's German.
Row.
I like that there's no reaction. Somebody's
All right.
German. It's silence.
Silence.
actually Scottish.
That makes it Scottish. Scottish.
Row.
All right.
For the win. Matlock, Derbyshire.
Matlock, Derbyshire. See, the way that works in English things, you have to put either the word pub or abbey at the end of it for it to make sense. So you said Matlock. What was the second one?
Matlock, Derbyshire. Matlock, like the
Yeah, Matlock, like
Like
the TV show.
lawyer
yeah, like
dude,
the
yeah.
like the lawyer. Yeah. And that's how you win a case. That's not what he says. I've never watched that show in my life. I'm gonna say
Righteous or rubbish, sure.
rubbish.
Gentlemen, we have a tie.
Oh no, that was real. Oh,
It's real.
damn, dude.
All right, tiebreaker.
All right.
The person that can most quickly give me the correct answer on this one
Oh god, dude.
will win. Hoggleton, Derbyshire.
Yes, absolutely real.
I'm going no.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Craven, the winner
Wow, what a comeback!
of the ROTC quiz.
You didn't say right. You said who answered first. I answered first.
I said the person who correctly or most quickly correctly answered.
Actually, you might have just said who most quickly answers. Ro might
That's
have
true.
a point here.
Ladies and
You might have
gentlemen, Ro
technicality.
Hunter,
He
the
might-
winner of this week's ROTC quiz.
Technicalities. Yes.
I tell you what,
Not an impeachment.
Ro, I'm gonna give you the prize of being able to go first in our sports Christmas list section here on the podcast. I'm gonna hand it over to you because really I feel like you deserved it more than I did. I mean, sure you might have stalled a lot when answering, like a whole lot, but I feel like you still earned it, and I want to give it to you. So
Hands weren't up. It's almost like he was looking something up.
My hands are always up.
yeah. Oh, what's that? Matlock, Derbyshire. I mean, am I spelling?
Oh,
Is
that
MATLOCK, is that correct? Okay.
that
yeah,
right,
we're gonna-
guys? Can I hear it in a sentence?
Wait, is that like a lock, like a lake? Like it's always confusing.
Now that's a good question.
It is.
Are those two words? Matlock?
Yeah. No, I went to school with Matt Locke. Anyway, Ro, why don't you start us off here in our
Christmas list?
your Christmas list? What do you
Christmas
want
list.
for Christmas here in the sports world?
Honestly, I don't always pay attention to things that happen out west, like in the state of Washington, specifically the Washington State Huskies.
Me either. I see no reason to.
Yeah, I remember a few years ago when the Washington State Huskies hired Chris Peterson. And I remember thinking, like, that's kind of weird because he was like a really big name for a very long time. All these openings would happen and Chris Peterson's name would get thrown out on message boards. They thought he was a Scientologist. They were like, no, he's not coming to the South. He believes in Scientology. He's going to stay out west. And that all might be true. I have no idea. However, he stepped down after they were doing like pretty okay. Like they had, like, you look at their record and it was okay. So what I want for Christmas, my Christmas wish list, I want to see Chris Peterson in a Southeastern Conference head football coach job. I don't know why he's stepping down. He hasn't really said why. I hope it's not health related. I hope it's just to give a break. So for me, out of respect, put some respect on his name, I want Chris Peterson for Christmas. That's all. In
Starkville?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? I would welcome that with open arms. Sorry, Joe. I mean, I'm trying to get behind you and everything, but like, he's better and he has a bigger name and he like won 1 billion games. So
sure.
I like his blue field that comes with him. So let's do it.
Let's get a maroon field.
Oh, dude, wouldn't that be gross looking? Yes.
That would be clean, man. Just get the maroon with the white stripes. Are you kidding me? That'd be so good.
And a white football.
White football. All maroon jerseys with the white football. Absolutely.
But without the white helmets, though, because my sister-in-law hates the white helmets.
I'm not a fan either. I'm not a fan either. Black uniforms and white helmets. I'm not a fan.
I'm a fan of both for whatever reason, but I'm weird like that. Yeah, Chris Peterson. My inside sources with close personal ties to the University of Washington Huskies program, i.e. my in-laws who live in Washington, have said that Peterson's comments are pretty much just that, like, he's just kind of tired of like the recruiting and the politics of college football, all of that. I think he'd be more likely to end up with an NFL job than he would coming down to the SEC. But you never know. You might get your wish.
You never know.
You might get your wish. Might get your wish.
I'm right there with you, Chris Peterson. I'm tired of those things too.
Seriously. Gray's constantly having to recruit at work, and it's just a pain.
I mean, everything should be legal when you're recruiting kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to go now because I technically won the game, apparently. But my Christmas wish is it's very simple. And it's one that I want to dedicate to close personal friend who I owe a lot to, Mr. Don Merlins, head football coach of the Florida Gators. And it's a simple wish. I mean, Don left his post in the SEC West a couple of years ago to move out east and try to pursue what, seems like an easier path to an SEC championship and all of that. So my only real Christmas wish is that, old Dan Mullen never wins the SEC East. Ever. I want him to sit in second place at best. Always. I mean, we all know I'm not above some pettiness in sports. I love it. It's sports. Who cares? So, yeah. I want Dan Mullen to never win the East. Sorry, Keith. It's nothing personal.
That's fair. Second's fine.
Second's fine. Second's good.
It's better than not ever.
Yeah, it's better than
close,
third.
Man. Yeah,
it's an attitude I think we can all
South Carolina.
Technically, it's better than 4th and 5th in the SEC West every year, but
right.
Technically,
but I just want him to never actually make it to the SEC championship. That's it.
Totally fine.
That's all I got. Keith, I'm going to hand it over to you now since you ran a masterful game, and Gray will have to go lost because he missed every single question he was given.
Hey, that's fair enough.
It was a rough one.
I'm sorry, Gray. I feel bad.
But I have learned a lot through the game. So.
Hey, your new name for next time we do the podcast is not English Gray Tea. There you go. I didn't know any English references.
Not Earl Grey. Yep.
Earl Grey. That's what it is. Earl Grey. Excuse me.
Keith, what's your Christmas wish?
My one and only item on the Christmas wish list, is the BB gun from A Christmas Story. No,
shoot at Florida State fans or something.
Yeah, and Tennessee fans. And,
oh
yeah. By the way, Tennessee fans are really upset that Lane Kiffin's back in the SEC.
Oh, they're so mad. They're so salty.
They are very mad. It's hilarious.
When does that game happen? Oh man.
Yeah,
hopefully soon.
I want Lane to hang 100 on Tennessee. I just do. I don't care when they play. I want Lane to hang around long enough to hang 100 on Tennessee.
And like, what's really funny is apparently Chandler knows more Tennessee fans than anybody else, even before he moved to the Knoxville area.
Pretty weird. Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, he's been getting trash talked a whole lot, and it's pretty hilarious. Anyway, my actual Christmas wish list would be for the battle mage himself, the captain of the USS Air Raid, Mike Leach, to come to the SEC and just be the anti-SEC coach.
Just swinging his sword.
Yes, just it's like SEC coaches are so like reserved and like by the book and like down to business, and Mike Leach is decidedly not that. And it would be just wonderful to see that.
I just want to hear Mike Leach give like a TED talk on if all of the SEC mascots were in a battle royale, who would win?
Because you know he would.
Yeah, because they asked him about the Pac-12 mascots, and he just went on for like 15 minutes. Well, I mean,
about bears. Yeah,
we're Cougars. I mean, Cougars they're crafty, but I don't know if we make it all the way to the end. I don't know.
Yeah,
just kept going. It's great.
They asked him about why he lost like another whatever that bowl was called that they played, like the Apple
Cup
series.
Baby.
Yeah, that. And he was like, well, they just keep recruiting better players than us, I guess.
Right. Because then the reporter asked him, oh, so you're just not supposed to beat teams that recruit better? Or teams with better recruits? And Mike Leach called him a sanctimonious SOB, if I remember correctly.
Please come to the SEC, Mike Leach.
Yeah, I'll look that up real quick. But I believe that was, no, he's called him a sanctimonious. What were the? I'll look it up. Sanctimonious troll. That's what it is. He called him a sanctimonious troll because apparently this guy has had a couple of like pretty negative Washington State articles written before, and so Mike Leach was just like, "I'm just tired of you coming in here, you sanctimonious troll." Pure gold. Great. What's on your Christmas wish list this year?
Mine's pretty simple too. When the college football playoff kind of took over, bowl season several years ago, in my head, I thought that it was going to be super exciting. I was going to be super into it. Of course, when Mississippi State was kind of on the cusp of making the playoff, I was all in. But really since then, I don't know. Bowl season's just been kind of lacking for me.
Yeah.
So what I want for Christmas is for a bowl matchup and a finish reminiscent of the Boise State Oklahoma Fiesta Bowl.
Oh,
yes.
Just a great ending like that with a big underdog. And I don't know if there's many bowl games matchups this season that really can equate to that level, but I want a game where the start of the fourth quarter, everybody's like, oh man, look what's going on over here, and then everybody all across the country tunes in, and we just have a Statue of Liberty hook and lateral, like just awesome ending to a game that we could all talk about and remember from years down the road. So that's what I want for Christmas.
Oh, I love it. That is such a memorable game that even as someone that had like no dog in the fight, did not care, was just watching. I remember exactly where I was watching that game. Like that's not supposed to, you're supposed to remember like Derek Pegues returning a punt, in the Egg Bowl to win it. That because you're supposed to remember like being there for those moments. No. I remember being at my friend's Jonathan and Rachel Bassett's house in San Antonio, Texas, when I was in college, just visiting them over New Year's with a handful of friends and watching that game in the living room with Jonathan Bassett, and just both of us not caring again about either team, just going, "This is incredible!"
Yes,
so good. So good. They win the game. That running back proposes to the cheerleader girlfriend.
That's right.
So good, man.
RG3.
Shout out to Chris Peterson for that game too. Just saying, come on back.
Oh, good point there.
Mm-hmm. That's honestly, there were some aspects of the New Orleans Saints and San Francisco 49ers game that were kind of reminiscent of that. Like both
what
teams
a great game, though.
Good grief. That is like
great
guaranteed to be more entertaining than whoever ends up in the Super Bowl.
Probably.
Guaranteed to be more entertaining than whatever lame Patriots team makes the stupid Super Bowl. So.
Seriously. Stupid Boston teams.
Seriously. All right, gentlemen. This was a good little Christmas episode. The first ever ROTC Christmas special.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'll be home for Christmas.
I think we just got copyright violated. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Ro.
Man.
Thanks, Obama.
No, I didn't say Christmas. I said Krampus.
He did it, guys. Never mind.
Krampus time is here.
Krampus time.
This is the worst.
This is the worst.
There's a weird monster on top of my roof right now.
I love it. All right, that's going to wrap things up then. Hey, dear listener, tweet at us. Let us know what's on your sports Christmas list this season. When you scrolled through, flipping through the Toys R Us sports toy catalog, Christmas catalog, and we're circling gifts for your parents to buy for you. What were you circling? Anyone else do that as a kid?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Amazon sent out magazines this year, since Toys R Us doesn't exist anymore, or barely exists, I guess technically. And Amazon sent out some toy catalogs this year, and I received a picture of my 2-year-old nephew,
brilliant,
standing in front of the coffee table, just like pointed at all the stuff that he's interested in, wanting.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, the tradition lives on. It's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the football season winding down, basketball season getting fully ramped up, and we'll be shifting our attention there soon enough. But as for now, still a little bit more football talk next week. Bowl preview, probably a little bit more discussion since we'll have Crambles back on the Lane Kiffin hire, get his perspective on it. I'll tell you right now, he's excited, and from everything we're saying, even with the risks and question marks, a lot of reasons to be excited. So it'll be a good couple of weeks here as we round out 2019 as a calendar year. So, gentlemen, thank you for being here on the podcast tonight. Thank you, listeners, for tuning into the podcast today. And we are now gonna send it on over. Send it back to the studio for the post-game report with Chris Berman. Stay tuned, though, after he's done. God Friended Me, season premiere, coming on after this.
I feel like you're about to do like a Bill O'Reilly kind of thing here where you're going to go, what does it mean? We'll just go on. What does it mean? We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
I was actually going to go with a little Paul Harvey and just end it by going, good day.
Good day.
Good day.